There's something like 150 breweries in San Diego County, and anyone you ask has their own opinion on which one's the best, even the brewers themselves. Actually, they might have the loudest opinion. One name that routinely comes up, no matter who you're talking to, is Pure Project, and it's not hard to see why, or taste why, as it were. Over the past decade, Pure has not only built up a reputation as one of the best breweries in town, it's taken on an almost mythic reputation among the savviest of true brew connoisseurs. And while such rankings often have an air of snobbish superiority, Pure Project itself is anything but elitist. In fact, the laid-back vibes here are clearly not just window dressing marketing, but a genuine ethos that forms the foundation of their business. Don't get it twisted, though. Passion is the engine, and that comes from the top down, as I learned from my chat with Winslow Sawyer, head brewer and co-founder of Pure Project, who told me all about what it takes to make great beer, deal with exploding kegs, and make a name for yourself in a crowded marketplace. This is A Few Beers with Winslow Sawyer.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Winslow, your name is amazing. I've never heard anyone with the name Winslow before. I've heard of the name Winslow. I've never met a Winslow before. You sound like a duke or a...
Well, it's kind of funny. Like every single male in my family has a middle name Winslow. So I go by my middle name. My brother was like, "Can he do that?" Yep, took it.
Like it's
Did
illegal?
myself.
Like the police will show up? Nice. But now I want to know what your first name is. Is that a prying question? I feel.
That's a little bit.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm getting too personal here.
My first name's Alexander. It's
Okay.
super.
Oh, very strong name.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I'm surrounded.
It's a little much.
I have so many Alexes in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's name is Alex. My best friend's name is Alex. There's probably other ones.
But I'm the
that's
only
enough.
Winslow, you know.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
So it works out.
It works for me. I'm going to start calling all of them Winslow. Everybody's Winslow to me. Pure Project has been around for 10 years, you said. 10 years this year?
10 years on the 31st. Yeah.
Of January?
We're having
we're
our
right-
10-year anniversary. Yeah.
Oh, incredible. I was going to ask you, are you doing anything for the 10-year anniversary?
Well, you're coming to the party.
Oh, there's a party? All right. I'm going to come to the party. Obviously, I'm going to do that, yeah. Incredible. What are you doing? You just...
So our
Streamers
original
and-
location, Miramar, we shut down the whole entire parking lot, and about 1,200 people come out.
Hey, that's
and
incredible.
We have all these beer tents and all these beers that we bring out from our cellar, and there's food vendors, bands, super fun time.
That's awesome. What bands are playing?
I'm not sure who
Okay.
is playing yet.
I'm just wondering if I
I'm
know.
more focused on the beers right
Yeah,
now. I'm just
obviously.
keeping my head down. They don't let me out and talk to people very often, so this is very...
Are you with the dogs upstairs?
Yeah, they lock me in the dog room. They're like, Winslow, go figure out the
With
beers.
you, too.
Yeah.
Not the dogs, only you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really exciting. And also, I mean, it's a major milestone for anybody doing anything to make 10 years of doing it.
Yeah.
But the growth in those 10 years, holy cow, like going from, what I imagine was a very small operation to where we're sitting right now.
You've been to our Miramar location.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits like 20 people
Yeah,
inside
it's
of
a
it.
tiny little space.
So we've
It
gone
is a
from
nice
there-
space, though. And you have an arcade there, I think, don't you?
It's an arcade? No, you're thinking of Brewski's. It's just down the
Maybe
street.
that's what I'm thinking of. I thought there was maybe I'm thinking somewhere else. I could have
Brewski's.
sworn you had video games at the Pure Project in Miramar.
We used to do Mario Kart Mondays. when
You
we
did?
first-
We just had a Mario Kart night. That's amazing.
Yeah, when we first opened, we were like, how do we get people in here on Monday night?
Mario Kart every
Just
time.
dead in here. N64 Mario Kart.
Hell yeah.
Had going
The
on
classic,
the big projector.
too.
Yeah.
Do you still do Mario Kart nights?
Oh yeah, it's up in the dog room.
Get out of here, seriously?
Yeah.
I want to live in the dog room.
Yeah.
I'm moving in.
Beer, Mario Kart. That's all you need,
That's
right?
pretty much all you need. That's literally my entire high school experience right there. Oops.
It's probably some other stuff we did in high school though.
Yeah, well, let's
While
not
you're
talk
doing the
about
Mario
that.
Kart, yeah.
Like I said, my mother watches this. So.
Okay. Be careful.
Okay, you have a degree in agriculture, is that what?
Yeah, my background's in sustainable agriculture.
Okay.
So environmental studies, what do you use in Santa Cruz. During that time, started making beer. I couldn't buy beer.
So the workaround.
Yeah, exactly. I was 18 years old, and I was like, I don't want to drink Coors Light and play beer pong. I want to drink, craft beer. I had some, my friends from middle school, their parents were European, so they would let us drink a few beers at their house. As long as the parents were around, no one's driving, everything was fine. But grew up drinking great beers like Craftsman Poppy Fields, if you from your LA craft brewery.
I don't know if I've ever had it before.
Yeah, Craftsman. They're like one of the OGs of
Okay.
LA. It's like, an English bitter. Getting to college, everyone's drinking yellow beer and throwing ping pong balls in it. And it's like, I got to figure this out.
You don't play beer pong with your beers here?
I will. I will.
Oh,
play
have you
beer
really?
pong. I
That's
will
amazing.
play beer pong. Oh, with our... No.
Okay. I was like, that feels like a waste of your beer to
You
play
need
beer
to
pong
drink
with it.
yellow beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just trying to make some more flavorful beer for drinking and more cultural, I guess.
What was the first beer you ever made? Do you remember?
I think it was an amber ale.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? Because you were into them, and was it easier to make that? You just
want
like that
something with
color in
flavor.
general?
Yeah, like I just
Fan of Jurassic Park?
Yeah, everyone was drinking yellow beer, and I was like, I want something with some color and some malt to it.
I like ambers a lot. I feel like you don't see them that often, but they're very good. I like ambers.
Yeah.
You also don't see pale ales a lot. That was
We're releasing a core pale ale. This
Good.
year.
Please do
It's
that.
gonna be year round. It's gonna be super good.
I love pale ales, and you never see them.
It's gonna taste like a West Coast IPA, but it's only gonna be 5%.
That's
So you can drink one and not ruin your day.
that's 100% what I want.
That's all I'm
the
looking
time.
for.
Can I drink 5 and not ruin my day?
Depends on your tolerance.
I'm dying. Just fall asleep with the dogs upstairs. How'd you make the jump into beer?
I couldn't buy it, so I was.
For lack of funds, or you were too young?
I was 18.
Okay.
And I went.
There are ways.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a fake ID, unfortunately, until my older friends turned old enough, and they handed down their old IDs to me, which was
You need an older brother. That's the move.
Yeah, you need an older brother. But also, like, I got to college, and everyone's drinking like Coors Light and playing beer pong, and I'm just like, not into this. I want like flavorful beer.
Got more Coors Light slander on this.
Yeah, I had these like my friends in middle school. Their parents were European, so they would like let's have some beers, but they would like have good beer. And
do you remember like what it was? Like, did you drink one specific beer and like, oh my god, this is
Fields from Craftsman.
real amazing? Okay, I figured there would be if you made beer your life work.
Poppy Field. So they started Lucky Baldwin's in Pasadena, which is like a beer bar there.
Okay.
And Poppy Fields was made for their bars, kind of like an English bitter. And I just got to college and everything's like yellow water, which is all I want to drink now. But
but you had to do the journey to find yourself
journey,
exactly,
right? And figured, just gotta make it yourself sometimes.
Do you think? I mean, obviously there's competition because there's so many breweries here, but you also have a more knowledgeable audience base in San Diego specifically because so many people drink beer and it's everywhere. So does that help kind of with like? I guess it kind of goes to your point. You can't just make beer for people who love beer or know beer very well, right? So you make all these different types of beer. But having a base that's very unique where so many people are drinking beer and people are very knowledgeable about beer, it probably helps you get like more instructive feedback from an audience than other people would not. I keep saying audience like it's music. I guess it's different when it's beer. More like consumers,
though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I talk about as our audience, right? And San Diego, beer is a like cultural cornerstone, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every restaurant you go to has a draft system. I was blown away by that when I moved here. It's just part of everyday culture. People drink craft beer. People want to support the local breweries, and it made it easier for us, like I said, to like become a cultural part of San Diego. It's been amazing being down here to San Diego.
It really is funny to me how much of the culture it is. It's sort of coming from Los Angeles where everything, it used to be not so much.
You go to a bar and it's like bottled. You go to a bar and there's bottled beer.
Tons of times you do
exactly.
that. Yeah, it's insane.
You're like,
to not
all right,
have
well,
draft
I'll
beer.
have a Miller High Life.
Right?
Okay.
And then it was for a long time dominated by one industry, right? Like there was Hollywood and dominated Los Angeles. Like everyone was connected to that business in some way. I feel like down here, not necessarily everyone's connected to beer, but beer is very much a part of like the fabric of San Diego.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that even as it keeps going on, I mean, you've been here for 10 years, but now you've stitched yourself into that story. It's like you're a part of it. You're up there with like the Stones and the Pizza Ports.
Yeah, it's really surreal. Like it's pretty crazy. Like we were talking earlier, like I moved here 10 years ago, like the 10 biggest breweries are like not even like things anymore, like Stone, Ballast Point, Modern Times, like Green Flash, like the breweries that like inspired me to brew. It's been honestly insane, but COVID was just absolutely insane.
For sure.
No one could have like expected going through that or been able to plan for that, especially when you're, every year is this crazy like 20% growth trajectory. And then all of a sudden like, okay, well, I guess people aren't going out anymore for an unknown amount of time.
That is what's so funny to me whenever we talk about COVID is that when we lived through it, knowing now, it's like, okay, but there's an end point. But when you were living through it, we didn't know when the end point was. It was like, this might just keep going. Who knows how long this is going to go for.
Yeah, we were like, oh, sweet, there's a vaccine now, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like things just kept going and So when you're operating a place where, I mean, you can still sell beer over the counter and like do to go and stuff, but when a big part of your business is people coming into the place.
All of our business was like people coming and drinking pints. Like we didn't even have a canning line. Like we got a canning line 2 months before the lockdown.
Really? Well, thank God you did.
Holy we wouldn't be in
shit.
business, right? Like, so everything just completely got turned on its head of, instead of, releasing these like beers on draft and people coming in to try them and grabbing crowlers, it was now like can releases, like millions of can releases and like all these new beers. And it's not going to go back. It's like one of those things, right? You talk about like inflation and it's like, well, the prices go up, but they never go back down. It doesn't matter if things it doesn't matter if they fix the supply chain issues. Like, it's not going back to the way it was.
Yeah, once we've established this baseline, that's what it is now. What would you say? Because I do think that the big brewers are still there, but I feel like the onus has kind of shifted to these other ones, right? Do you look at other places around town and be like, all right, these are like the new cool kids? Like, who's leading the beer industry right now?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we were very fortunate to like getting into that like hazy IPA little like hype brewery thing early on. So I got to travel like honestly all around the world, like going to like Mikkeller Beer Celebration in Copenhagen and getting to go to like Belgium and getting to travel all around the United States. And honestly, a lot of my inspiration comes from people who are making beers regionally, right? And brewing things that their audience likes in those towns. Because San Diego has we have our vibe here, which is like super light, hoppy, and you can drink 4 of them and go to the beach, like that's our thing here. But going around, like traveling around the world and seeing the different regional styles and what people are doing to keep people interested, that was hugely inspirational. And also looking at like food. I know you've interviewed some pretty big top chefs on here, and trying to gain inspiration from people who are pushing the boundaries of flavor and presentation and trying to bring that in.
Do you think of yourself the same way a chef would? I mean, because you're kind of doing chemistry in lots of ways, right? Like brewing, I guess, is chemistry.
I don't smoke cigarettes in the walk-ins. So.
That is the mark of a true chef.
That's the one difference.
Yeah. You got tattoos, but I don't see like the pork one that has all the different loin cuts. Yeah, exactly. And you're not really mean, which is what most chefs are. Though the chefs we've had are all really nice. Yeah, exactly.
That's how we would have started the interview.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, trust me, I worked in lots of restaurants. I know that type very well.
Everyone should work food service.
I agree 100%. That is something I say to everybody all the time. Yeah. It's just not just to understand what it's like that they're going
how to respect a server when you go out.
100%, but then also for you to know how to talk to people. Yeah. And especially talk to people from all walks of life when they want something from you. Like where you don't really have the power in like a situation. So that's very, very useful. I'm a big proponent of that. But brewing, it's like chemistry. It's like cooking in the sense that you have to understand flavor and flavor profiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, you often pair beer with food too. So there's that aspect of it. But then to me, and this is a conversation we have all the time with like tons of different people from different areas and different avenues of like things that they do. But it's an art form to me, looking at it from the outside. Do you consider it an art form? Do you consider yourself like an artist, a chef?
Definitely. I mean, it's really, what I love about this job is it mixes not only flavors and being able to be a chef, but there's, fermentation. So you have the microbiology that you're learning about. There's like chemistry, learning about how everything's working before the fermentation, and there's also engineering, like all this like, crazy equipment and stuff. Like I'm pretty much like glorified like mechanic now. Like,
I never even thought about that. I'm watching Deadliest Catch right now, and I'm like thinking of like things exploding.
Some guy getting grabbed by a chain.
Yeah,
like pulling
same
up
thing. I'm sure.
We do that all the time back there.
What's a lot? You have to wear a lot of different hats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's but it's great. It's different every day, which is amazing. So like one day I'm talking to a farmer. The next day, I'm trying to figure out how to like integrate that ingredient and trying to figure out how it's going to work through the fermentation process. Because it's not like we just take a ingredient and cook it and put it in the glass. It has to go through this like black box of fermentation, right? So we're putting in ingredients, fermentation is happening, and then out the backside, we get something else.
So you just have to like kind of...
People say they have this figured out. They're all liars. There's a lot of great science that's been done. There's amazing books. Like I got so much of my knowledge from reading books about the chemistry and biology of brewing. But then again, the most important knowledge I've gotten is just working with other brewers and finding out like what works for them, how they do things. I keep coming back to hazy IPA. No. But that was like a very formative thing for us, and like people couldn't figure out how to make. Because we all were trying to figure out how to make beer clear. My entire brewing career was like, okay, we got to make this clear. We're going to do whatever it takes to make it clear. And then I was like, shit, how do we get to like stay hazy?
How do you get it to stay hazy?
It's a lot of different stuff. It's chemistry, it's biology, and it's ingredients in the upfront part. So taking all those things to be able to do it consistently was a whole new learning process. And there wasn't like a book that you could go grab and be like, okay, how do I make hazy IPA?
See, now you need to write the book. And this is
it was like calling other brewers and making beers with people and trying to figure out, okay, this is what works for you, this is what works for us, and getting it figured out.
How close-knit is the brewing community?
It's really close-knit, yeah. It's like, man, I was like in Germany, and there's this like few 100-year-old brewery called Schlenkele they're like famous for making smoke beer in Bamberg.
Oh, I've had smoke beer before. I might even have had this one. I'm not sure.
And it just happened like I had the email of the head brewer. He'd been the head brewer there since the 80s.
Holy
and I email him like, hey, Martin, I'm just like a fan of your guys' beer. I just happened to be in town for half a day. And he's like, come by the brewery, I'll give you a tour.
Hell yeah.
So it's like one of those things, like it's very tight-knit. Very tight-knit.
Globally too. I was just expecting locally. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a big family. We gotta take care of each other, and
it's a lot of work. I think people see it from the outside, me included, because you were talking about, I get to travel around the world and drink beer. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard of. But the reality is you also have to deal with these giant tubs and make beer and go to farms.
A lot of heavy stuff and loud equipment. And trying to figure out how to make it all work in process to make the product we're trying to make, because we're not only like brewing the beers that have been brewed for like 100 years. It's like we're trying to brew new stuff. So that's like integrating new equipment and production techniques and trying to figure it all out. Like, how do we use local fruit in a beer at a large scale, right? So trying to figure that all out, and how do we process that, and how do we integrate it? How do we make sure the beer is gonna not go bad after, adding raw oranges to it?
Yeah, that would freak me out as somebody who's not even a very good cook in general. It's just like, oh shit. But then maybe I'd make an amazing strawberry hazy IPA.
Well, luckily we have a very knowledgeable team. We have a microbiologist on staff here, so we're able to like do all those things.
So that's my favorite thing in the world, is that you could be a scientist and be like, I'm a beer scientist. It's pretty awesome.
Really cool. Yeah, he has a doctorate from Berkeley, but he decides to work in a brewery, I guess.
That's the raddest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Shout out to Dr. Nate.
Nice. What makes a great bar?
What makes a great bar?
Yeah, what makes a great bar? When you go to a bar.
For me or for someone else?
For you, personally.
Oh, I'm like, definitely.
And then analytically, I want you to like really evaluate. Like, your own personal.
Like, the best bars have a really good jukebox that's free.
Yeah.
So that keeps the tunes going.
Okay, well now I need to know what music would be on that if you...
I need to have everything from like Ella Fitzgerald to like doom metal on it. Because you don't know if you're there for like afternoon cocktail hour or you're there like 2 a.m. right before the lights go on. You see how ugly everybody is.
Yeah, Raining Blood at 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. is very different.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to have the full breadth, of everything. There needs to be at least 4 beers on draft. That's all you need. Don't need anything crazy. And a good bartender.
Yeah, that does go a long way. I feel like that's overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
People just think it's blap and then drop it down. But like, really, you want to be conversing with
Have you been to Turf Supper Club yet since you've been here?
No, I have not.
It's one of the best beers, one of the best bars in the world. You can grill your own steaks in there.
What?
It's I don't know how old it is. I think it was started in like.
When you say grill your own steaks, I mean like I bring in my own steak or I get a steak?
No, you buy a steak there.
Because that would be insane.
They have an open like grill right in the middle.
I've been to Cheers in Poway, which does the same thing in a much lower. I would not grill the steak there.
I'm more of like a dive bar guy myself.
I like dive bars a lot too.
If I'm gonna go out, I'm definitely a dive bar guy. Like get a pitcher of Pabst for like $5 or whatever it used to be.
I love Pabst. I know that you were talking shit on Coors Light earlier, which is every brewer I talk to is talking shit on Coors Light.
Oh no, we talk shit because it's like one of those love-hate things. It's like you go in our fridge and that's all it's going to be in there.
It's Coors Light, man.
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of already answered it, but like, what's the best bar that you've ever been to? I feel like you've been to lots of ones. And then, I mean, kind of best beer, but it's a little harder to answer that question.
Yeah,
actually, the best are both pretty hard.
Best beer is tough. I definitely like Turf Supper Club. That's one of my favorite places.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, you'll have to go there. It's in the Golden Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a go-to beer? You just said Coors Light, but like, other than your own beer, or if there's one, I guess Tropical Mist you said was like the one that you go to the most here.
I would say Tropical Mist is the most pure project beer.
Okay. Meaning because of the
It
local
embraces,
oranges.
like, everything, like all of what Pure Product is about, right?
I gotta drink more of it to refresh my palate here.
I like novelty, honestly. It's gonna sound super hokey, but you can tell when people put like love into, like, you know how people say
I don't
love
think that's hokey. I think that's totally true. Yeah.
Yeah, like people like love is the most important ingredient. Where whether it comes to food, like, you know, it's like, let's be honest, like our moms are probably not like world-class chefs, but every time she cooks us a meal, come on.
Yeah.
Mom cooked us a meal like this.
I mean, my mom is a world-class chef. You're welcome, Mom. Watches all of this. She's nuts.
But it's like one of those things, right? Like, you can taste the passion, you can taste the love.
Yeah.
You can taste when people tried and gave a damn about it.
That word is my favorite word that people use. And I think it's emblematic of the craft beer scene in general and why I support it over like macro breweries, right? All of these things are done out of passion and people trying to do new things. Yeah. Any small business, really. Somebody had an idea and a dream, they try to put something behind it. Yeah. So it's really cool when it's something that is also bringing people together, right? Yeah. Not that it's not cool to, like, you know, you run a counter grocery store, whatever it is. But with beer specifically, I mean, you can drink it by yourself, and I do, but it's fun to come and get together with people and you're making memories, and you know, they've done studies where it adds to the longevity of somebody's life, like spending time around other people. And in a way, what I'm saying is that you're saving people's lives.
Yeah, that's definitely been that was one of the things I had to overcome as like someone who makes poison. It's crazy. Like, it was at like a certain point for me, I was like, wow, this is like really not good. Like, I'm like hurting people with the thing I make. And like, I'm doing the more tasty I make the poison, the better job I'm doing. Right? No, it's really messed up, right? I had like such a like hard time with that for a little bit, but then I realized like the people who are killing themselves with alcohol, they're the ones drinking the plastic bottle of Pop Pop.
Yeah, it's probably not beer.
It's not like $10 like craft like
beer.
IPAs.
That'd be a very expensive way to kill yourself. There's much cheaper ways to do it.
We're not making straight alcohol, but that was definitely a very like tumultuous time for me personally.
I think that's pretty introspective of you to even have that thought in general. I wouldn't even think about that. I work for a mobile game company. All we do is prey on beer.
You're like, why won't my teenager talk to me?
Yeah. Then I pull into my house. I'm like, yeah. We should probably cut that. No, I'm kidding. I don't care. They don't watch this if they do. My boss loves beer.
That's good. It's good to have a boss that likes beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you're a boss who likes beer, right? Exactly.
I like to think of myself as a leader, not a boss.
Nice. You are a very pragmatic and like enigmatic person. Gregarious. I'm just pulling out adjectives now that don't even apply to what I'm saying.
Go. Straight over here.
That's when you were talking about chemistry.
Yeah.
How often do you have to clean those things? I'm asking just because it sounded like they were clean and they just stopped.
Oh,
not the barrels, the big vats.
They in between every single beer. Yeah.
Really? That sounds like a really tough job.
Yeah, I mean, everything needs to be sanitary inside.
Yeah.
Everything has to be sanitary through the process.
Do people go in like those old school like scuba diving suits and like drop them in a ballast?
It's like Stranger Things blowing. Like to the
they got to fight a Demogorgon.
Yeah, exactly. Suit up, you going in.
Oh man, if somebody was interested in starting like crafting beer, either at home or just like, I think, let's say you're even past that stage. I've been brewing at home. I want to like start a beer company. How do you go about doing that?
Yeah, do some research. I mean, if you're still trying to figure out how to make beer, don't open a brewery.
Probably a good idea. Yeah.
Depending on where you are, definitely not in San Diego. Like, you can't open a brewery and not have good beer.
Yeah,
that's not going to work out. But learn about business. I mean, luckily I have two really good business partners, and I was 24 years old when we started this place, and I knew nothing about. I knew how to drink lots of beer, but I had no idea how to
It's part of the job.
Have employees and do payroll and all that stuff.
So, well, yeah, because that's the other half of this job that's very real, right? Business, like you're running a business. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Learn how to run a business. I'm sure it's the same thing for the food industry. It's like, I can make great food, but I don't know how to run a business. Like, I don't know how to staff correctly for the correct.
And there's parts of it that you didn't really know until you start doing it, which is different business to business too. But you kind of have to learn on the fly. So what have you learned over the last 10 years that you think is very valuable from when you started? As a very standard interview question. I'm better than that, but I'm interested.
Wow. It's been really interesting too, because I mean, going from 24 to
Yeah, but you were really young. You're young now.
Yeah.
You have no grays in your beard. Look at my beard. Look at how old.
I'm 32, man.
Sheesh.
I feel like you learn a lot about life in that amount of time, but just taking your time and being purposeful with what you do, it goes a long way because, yeah, maybe the quick fix will fix it now, but then like 3, 5, 7 years later, you're like, oh, that was actually like a huge mistake, and I was just trying to rush through it to get it done because I was stressed out about it.
Yeah.
Really take your time. Make sure you're clear with people. I mean, I think every business, unless we're talking about those like one-man AI billion-dollar startup, dealing with people is a big part of being a business owner and running a business, and being able to be concise and real with the people that you work with is huge, and being able to be communicative. Like,
yeah, well, I think you mentioned earlier that you have multiple people who've been on for basically the whole run of the thing, you know, starting from bartenders, and now they're like running things. And that speaks to, I think, the way you run this business, along with your business partners, and just the quality of the products that you're making. And then what you were saying earlier about the passion and just trying. You know, I think that's infectious when it comes from leadership downwards. And that applies to any business that you're in, no matter what you're doing. Not even just business, just in life in general, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just got really planned it out. And
we ask, because we have a lot of like musicians and actors and stuff on. It's always funny to talk about like what was the shittiest gig they ever did, because they're always those hilarious stories. Or if somebody's like a brewer, does anything stand out as like, oh fuck, like let's just not go. You told the banana story earlier.
Yeah, the banana story is good. And we used to like these like orange beers when we first started using oranges. It's like a big no to add like raw fruit into beer after the beer's fermented, because there could be risk of like wild yeast or something like that, which will make like cans explode.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it'll like.
Are we in danger?
No. But it's like so we used to add them like in the boil. So like I would have to get into like the boil kettle after with like.
Now we're talking Stranger Things.
Yeah, like wellies on, and I'd be like up to my like knees in boiling hot like oranges.
Holy
and trying
shit.
to like shovel them out of like the boil kettle.
Did you get any injuries from doing this?
No, I burned my leg one time with like hot caustic, which is not cool.
Yeah, that would suck. What if you sneezed in there? If you were allergic to oranges.
Yeah. And then one time we added too many strawberries into the tank, and all the strawberries rose to the top of the tank and clogged the where the gas escapes the tank. There's there's an 1.5 inch pipe at the top of the tank that allows gas to escape. But the problem is this huge cap of strawberries had gone in and clogged it. So I had to go and like undo this like port at the top of the tank, and it shot off like a cannon.
Oh my God.
And then all this strawberry just geysered everywhere. Like
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't fun to clean.
No, of course not. But for me, if I was watching it, I'd be like, it'd be fun to observe.
Yeah, it was a 1,000-gallon tank of beer.
Shit.
And open the tank, it just shoots off. Boom! It busted a hole in the like insulation on the ceiling, and then there was probably like 300.
It's like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
Yeah, it was not cool. It's like 300 gallons of like yeast and strawberries and all this stuff I had to clean up.
That sucks.
That was probably the worst.
Was that yesterday, or was this? It was like you did a very good job.
7 years ago. Yeah.
Man,
we dropped a couple of these off forklifts before. That's fun.
Really?
They kind of bounce. They bounce higher than you think.
Yeah, I believe it. They're kind of like cork. This is beautiful, by the way. I really like. I'm glad we had this backdrop. Is there plans for expansion for Pure Project, or?
Yeah, right now we're just starting to get into like kind of grocery stores.
Yeah.
Like we're explaining before.
I think I've seen you in grocery stores.
Yeah, we're just starting to get into grocery stores again, into Sprouts and the Ralphs and stuff like that.
Is that nationwide, or is that just like regional?
San Diego.
Okay.
Just San Diego right now, and a little bit of like Orange County, I think.
Do you have like a dream of going nationwide? Do you think about it that way, or?
Honestly, this brewery is already bigger than this is the biggest brewery I've ever worked at, and it's probably bigger than I ever thought it was going to be.
I mean, it is.
So I'm just
sizable.
I'm happy with whatever we can achieve and stay true to our ethos. I think that's a big thing that we're trying to figure out. We're at a really nice medium size right now where, yeah, we can spend $100,000 on a machine that recaptures CO2 and not put it into the atmosphere. But we're not so big that we have to like turn our backs on our local farmer who's been buying oranges from for 5 years.
Yeah.
that's really cool because you're supporting other, I was going to say creatives, but like other people who are making things at a local level, which is awesome.
Of course.
It feeds into the ecosystem. I'm going to ask you one more question because I've been looking at this whole time. The beer design on this, I don't know if we can like zoom in on it. As a bear on this side, obviously like California bear, but then there's a sloth on this side, and I think it's awesome. And I'm just wondering who came up with that because it's very cool.
Yeah, so it goes back to our roots in Costa Rica. My two business partners, they were going to start the brewery in Costa Rica, in Manuel Antonio, which is this really beautiful part of Costa Rica. It's a nature preserve. What's next to a nature preserve where they're going to start the brewery? They weren't going to start it in
That's an interesting place.
But they just didn't have the what they needed to start the brewery, so they brought it back here to San Diego. So we were kind of
now I'm getting it.
California.
Yeah, from
Costa
the sloth
Rica.
to the California.
Yeah, so like even this beer's name Tropical Mist is inspired by like the mist rolling in over like the rainforest down to the ocean.
Oh, I thought you were just being poetic in this.
Yeah.
I also did not know that sloths were from Costa Rica, so I learned something about sloths and about beer. Winslow, your beer is awesome. Pure Project is fantastic. If you're watching this in a place where you can't get it, sorry, because it's amazing. If you're here, come over here. You have multiple locations across town.
Everyone needs an excuse to come to San Diego.
Yeah, exactly. True. That's very true. Yeah. It's not a bad place to be. Winslow, thank you so much. This was awesome, dude.
Thanks for having me back.
Appreciate it, man.